everyone. I'll try that again. Um, so we are going to continue looking at the crime scene photos for the Madeline Soto case. Now, as you can see on this first picture, as per normal, the search warrant has been shown because they need to have this search warrant before they can undertake a search in the property, and that's just to preserve the integrity of the case and to make sure that the defense can't come in and say they didn't have a warrant and all that kind of thing. So we're going to go through the Merry Christmas. I think you're a bit late. I think you're a bit late. It's not Christmas. It's nearly my birthday, actually. So this is the search warrant. So that's just part of the procedure. So we're going to have a look around the crime scene in the home, and we're going to have a look at what we think is normal, not normal, a bit odd, things that we can pick up and see in the property. Now, there isn't anything too graphic to see at all. It is if you are Susan Boyle. Fair enough, Anne. Fair enough. You can be Merry Christmas if you want. So we're going to go through the house. Like I said, there's nothing too graphic, but there's a couple of things to point out, which, although not graphic, are disturbing. Oh, bloody hell, this thing is wobbling all over the place and I don't like it. Right, so I'm just moving out with the comments. You're the left flap. I love that name so much over there on TikTok. It's bloody brilliant. Okay, guys. Right. So this is the outside of the house. You can see the forensic van is here because it says 6. So I'm probably going to picture that it's got foren on the other side of that. And obviously they've come to the property because they want to have a look around the property, see what's going on, and just get an overall picture. Now, there is a cat in the window that you can see in there. Now, something looks broken in there. It looks... Now, either she's used something, a wedge, to stop the door from opening, or something has broken from above and it's got caught as it's fallen down, but the doors are shut. There's chairs on the outside. Now, that it probably... maybe the cat's knocked something. The cat's just having a good nose, and it looks like it sat on some... I can see, I'm pointing at this, but you can't see me pointing. That's really dumb. So you can see here, there's like some drawers there that the cat is sat on. And then there's a reflection of the cat, or on the cat here. So the cat's just poking its head round, having a good nosy. And then they've got some well-maintained plantage there. So it looks from the outside, if the cat didn't disturb the blinds a bit and it didn't have the blind hang, whatever that bit of plastic is there, that probably looked like it was quite well maintained on the outside. That is the front door. We've seen the police attend and go to this front door. Now, it looks to me like that curtain is probably a little bit sun damaged on there, because it looks like it's faded across here. Not that it makes the blindest bit of difference. It's obviously up there to keep the sun out. And you're going to see why in a minute, because this is weird. Now, they've redacted the number, but everyone knows what what property it is. So this is as you walk in. Now, you look in there and you think, okay, so there's the cat. It's got tiled floors. It's got a small plastic, what I would have said would have been an outside table, but I'm not sure if it's plastic, or I'm not sure what that is. But it is there. The chairs are there, and then there's like a little cat feeder just down the back there. I'm not sure what that big black thing is. Now, this is where things are very odd, because this is quite a big property, and there are other people living in it other than Jennifer Soto. It's like a shared house, but they have a spare room. So get this. It, here, this thing here is a partition. And you're going to find out why if you don't know why in just a sec. So this is the kitchen that you can see here. You can see the cupboards. There's spotlights up the top there. I'm not sure what's in this brown frame thing. What's in that brown frame thing? Looks like it looks like they've kind of framed forever some sort of jar or something, a bottle of something, and I can't see what the rest is. Now, obviously near the cooker, it's all looking tidy. Now, that table, I think, is where Jen Soto gave that interview. But for all intents and purposes, this area here looks clean. Everything's put away. The cupboards are there. They could probably do with a new paint or something. Bearing in mind this is a shared house, so whoever else is living in there or doing in there will have access to this kitchen as well. Now, obviously, the stairs look quite nice. I mean, things start to wear down, don't they, after a while? I think there's a bit of a scorch mark, perhaps maybe from cooking down here. There's some cupboards here, and then there's like a vent grate here, and then there's these stairs. So there is an upstairs, which is important. Now, before obviously they take us upstairs, there's this section down here. So I think Jen was sat in this chair here when she did that interview. There's a room in here. Again, there's not much to see in this area. I don't see any untoward blood splatter or anything. It just, I mean, we know she was strangled. Don't do that. So it's just all normal. It's just a normal home. In some parts tidy, in some parts not. Again, a different angle, just kind of looking straight into that room with that built-in cupboard there. There's a black chair, and things will start to get a little bit chaotic. I kind of feel like they had a tidy up before the police came. I don't know about what anyone else thinks, but I kind of feel like potentially they could have had a little bit of a tidy up in there before. I don't know, because I still feel that the mother knows something or knew something when they were looking for her, just with her inconsistent stories of what happened and how like she was at home allegedly sleeping. Things just don't add up, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. I do have opinions from time to time. Now, I don't know what this is. This black thing is. I can't tell you what that is. Is it? It might be a footstool. There looks to be some drinks here. And then this partition. This is an odd thing. And this is because they have partitioned that part of what is a slash dining room into part of Madeline's bedroom. So bearing in mind this is a public place, as in it's shared with someone else. She doesn't have her own bedroom, although she could have. There is no reason why she could not have a bedroom. And they've put her in this part here, and they've put this partition there to create a bedroom in what would be part kitchen dining area. That to me is weird as anything. Hey, Michelle, why would you put your daughter, your only daughter, in an area where you do have a housemate as well, where she can't lock the door? It's not private. Why would you do that? To me, that seems crazy and weird. But by all accounts, she didn't sleep in there much anyway, because she was busy staying in either her mum and Sternsy's bed or just in bed with Sternsy. I just don't understand that. I never will. So this is the other side of that. So they've created a little doorway, they've put a little bit of a carpet in there. I could understand it like if there wasn't room, but there is room in this house. And before you share a house, because I believe the property would have been affordable. Um Before you share a house with someone, you make sure you got your kids got somewhere to sleep. You don't make do. So I guess this would be what would be the lounge, maybe. So you've got a little chair thing here. This must have been where the cat was looking in. And then you've got this partition. So this room is as bright as hell. There's a light above there, obviously with a fan. And this poor girl, she's she's expected that's expected to be her private space, bearing in mind her age. Again, they just done a nice little close up for us. Oi, oi, Nick. They've done a nice little close up there for us of the bed. Before we go in there, there's a fleecy blanket hanging on there. And I still don't understand it. It really bugs me and bothers me a lot. This case really, I think this case got to a lot of people at the time when we were following it as well, just because of everything that we learned, but knowing what happened and then just how careless her mother, and when I say careless, I don't think she cared. I'll be honest. So again, it's just showing you a close up the partition. Now that bit looks like it's been blocked off by something, so perhaps you can get dressed with privacy, because not all of that seems to have that bit behind it. But I mean, at this point, did this girl ever get any privacy? So we go into the bedroom. So as you can see, if we're calling it a bedroom, she's got her stuffy toys across her bed. She's got stuffy toys here on the bed, and then these things have been just thrown on the top of the bed, and the underneath of this bed has been made. So did she ever actually sleep in this bed? Ever? Or at the point that this bed was made? Because I don't think that bed was made that morning. Then you've got this little shelf here, and then this is when you start to see, you know, a child, right? I mean, she looks older in some of her photos, but she is just a child. She's got a book there. She's got like a whiteboard with some writing on it. And then she's got this little thing with all her pens in. There looks to be some pens down here and some folders that could be her schoolwork. I just don't get it. Oi, oi, Nick. I hope your leg's all right, mate. Now, in here, they've dumped the cat scratchy post. You can see it there. She's got a little rucksack here and another little bag here. And then in this drawer, can we see? No, let's just take us back to that one. Fuck's sake. So in this drawer, there looks to be some plasters, a little football. Now, my question back then, when we first saw these, and my question now is, what the fuck is this on the floor? It probably is likely to be cat sick, but is it cat sick? Or is it human vomit? Because bearing in mind, she if she was being strangled, she might have vomited. Here, what is this? This to me looks like some sort of tie to restrain somebody. Because that's not the sort of normal thing that you see in a child's bedroom on the bed, is it? You wouldn't normally see that and a tie there. So I would have concerns there. So I guess, I mean, we might find out what that is during the trial. I don't know, but it could be cat vomit. But equally, is it cat vomit? Did something happen here? Was she restrained here with this, whatever this is? It was like a tie of some description. Um, and it just got missed. And then they take a little bit of a closer look. Now there's the little rug thing. That's just her bedding. I don't see anything other than this still being here. And I think they've obviously took a picture of that. Now this is obviously where she does all of her like computery, gamey stuff. She's got a little flower there. She's got a little cam there. She's got a little cup there. These are her drawers. It looks like there's a TV here. Not sure what that is, and I'm not sure why she would have a very tall, what looks to be a vase there. And then it looks very untidy down here. Probably cat hair. It's probably not seen a Hoover. And then this is another angle in the bedroom. Keep it propped up, mate, because you know you're going to need to. Now, I don't know what that line is across the TV. Actually, I never noticed that before. That line across there. Did something happen to that TV in a struggle? Was it knocked? Then you've got some tissue. I don't know what that is, Febreze. There's some Pringles there, or Pringle packet there. And then I'm not sure what the box is there. What is that box thing? Let me have a look. It won't let me zoom in, so I can't see it. Well, Fun Dip. Okay. So it's like sweets. So you can see, like, as much as she looks older, she still has a very childlike nature. Now these are her drawers. She's got game down here. Obviously, they just take photos of every angle and every thing that they can get their hands on, because they don't want to miss anything. There's a Sharpie pen there. Obviously, things just thrown into the drawers there. Hang on, let me just go back. Oh no, I thought that was a bra then, but I don't think it is. Not that the girl got any privacy. And then we're back into this room here. And then here is another room with a double bed. So this is where I believe Sternsy and Jennifer would sleep. And of course, Maddie would sleep in between them, which to me is weird as fuck. Now you can see there's some makeup boxes down there. There's a shoe, not sure what that is. There's some like little backpacks hanging up there. There's a coat hanger. Just go in the room. And then as we come in, you've got the wardrobe there. You've got a sheet dumped here. What was that sheet dumped there for? There doesn't seem to be any vomitus down here. There's no restraints down there. Bed sort of not made. Ish made. Now that looks like that is a cat bed. Now, why is all this bundled up here? Then you've got the little stuffy toy here, and then like a little blanket thing here, and then that looks like red dye there. Got a little corner light, some water, and then the shoes here. Now here, there's a bunch of stuff that's just been thrown into the corner here. They will go closer to that. And then on this shelf, you've got this purple monkey thing, and then this medicine bottle, which is, I believe, Miralax. Miralax is something to help you have loose bowels so that you can go to the toilet frequently and regularly. That was prescribed for Maddie. Why? Did Stearns have another reason? Now, the Christmas tree is still up here. They've got some Disney things on here. They put the little headbands on. There's some like storagey boxes up there. I'm not sure what these things are. I can't really clearly see them. There's those like little game things, and he used to do those little game things, didn't he, on Reddit? And he used to chat with children on Reddit about them little like animal games. So again, it's just getting a closer up of the tree. Don't know what those photos are. Probably someone famous that I don't recognise. There's just like a bracelet on the side there, a bit of a wrapper. So a bit chaotic in the bedrooms. So here we can see on this shelf, so you've got the Miralax, you've got the cotton wool, whatever this is. You've got all these Disney ear things here, a bag of crap, more crap just thrown underneath. I mean, fucking hell. So much crap. And then all these stuffies. So it's like you've got the nice, neat stuffies. Then you have these nice little Disney bands, you know, the ones that get you on the rides and in your hotel rooms and you can load money up. They've took time to hang the monkey up. And then the medicine is not too bad. It's got getting a bit chaotic and then it goes to shit completely. Not sure what this is. Does anyone know what this is? I don't know what that is. That tall, long black thing. Looks like a weird ass bell thing, but I don't know what it is. And then there's obviously some gaming items here. That looks to be Christmas wrap, and that is an Amazon box. Why would you want Miralax? So you're getting a different angle. So when Jen was doing that interview, Sternsey was here. Oh, fuck off. Sternsey was here in this black chair, hovering like a weirdo, the weirdo that he is. And that's my opinion, Sternsey, you're a weirdo and I don't like you. I detest you. And then she was sat here doing that interview. If you think Sternsey's a weirdo, you're not on your own, because I think he's a freaky weirdo and deserves everything that was coming. And then you've got the scratch post. It's just weird that some of it's like tidy-ish and then some of it's just fucking thrown together, like just. And then that's obviously like a bathroom, his and hers. A mirror. You've got all this pile of stuff down here in a chair, random chairs just placed anywhere, the makeup bag and that in here. How many rucksacks do you need? And then you kind of look into their bathroom, and apparently she had pregnancy tests in her cupboard. Not that she was trying for a baby, that is the mother, but she kept them under there anyway. Now, I have heard some Americans say that they just keep them under there, you know, just in case they miss their period. They're an expensive habit to keep in your thing, and just in case you need to do a pregnancy test. Well, you just kind of wet, you know, if you're trying, yeah, maybe, but I mean, if you miss your period, then go and buy one, because you know by the time you get around to it, they're probably out of date anyway. So you've got feminine hygiene in here with some probably air freshener. Some more stuff going on here. They've got plenty of feminine hygiene stuff. Now it's rumored that that Maddie was late for her period, but we don't know if she was pregnant. That information hasn't been released. There's been rumours, but nothing has been confirmed that I have been made aware of. Bottles of water. And you've got the bath. And again, you see, you come around this area, it looks all tidy. Apart from a sticker just slapped onto the bath, clothes just bundled on the floor. Which in a normal day, you'd just be like, right, you know, thrown your clothes off and you've been busy and you haven't tidied up. It's just weird how pockets are like clean and then the rest is just thrown together. So you've got weighing scales, towel, shower curtain. Again, nothing really untoward to see. Different angle. Can't see anything looking overly disturbed in here. It's one of them like spa baths, in it. And then up here you've got makeup brushes, like fuck. Makeup brushes, hair brushes, whatever that is, in that one of them bath things that scrub your back, some anti-back hand stuff. Just some odd tidbits across there. Toothpaste on the bath, shampoo, police officer in the mirror. See the police officer in the mirror, guys. Just doing her thing. And then over this side, again, electric toothbrush, makeup, all the bits and pieces. Again, hand gel, another hairbrush, plasters. They must cut themselves a lot. And then we've got the stairs. So again, we're going to go up the stairs, I think. So again, these are the stairs. Nothing untoward to see here. They could do with a clean, Jen. Railing. Again, marks on the wall, wear and tear, I would think. I mean, I'm not being judgy at all. Again, nothing untoward here. So, up the top of these stairs, you've got a washer and a dryer, which is weird because the cooker and kitchen is downstairs. So that throws me a little bit because it's like, ooh, AD using sweary words. Like I would never, ever would I, ever use sweary words? Would I? I might. I mean, I could. I think I do sometimes. So that makes no sense to me, but it's not my house, not my layout to put the wash machine upstairs when the kitchen is downstairs. Oddly laid out, but I guess if they're sharing the property and they're sharing the facilities, it's probably best that way. Perhaps they can come down and do their washing while someone is cooking. And then obviously, again, I'm not sure what that little white thing is down here. It's like some sort of weird light. You've got a washing basket, and then you've got a bathroom up here, which would be, I guess, in a normal situation, the main bathroom. So I don't know if they all share it or whoever the house people are that they share the property with, if they just use that. So we'll get a little close up of the washing machine and dryer, I'm assuming. That's just all the stuff that they've got there to use in the washing, drying thing. Nothing disturbed, nothing untoward. I feel like they've opened the cupboard doors. And then they've got the fridge freezer in the corner, which again is a bit weird because it's right near the bathroom. I think fridge freezer being right near the bathroom, hygiene and all that. Because you're putting your food in there. But I suppose you put it where you can. And then there's a microwave up there. So that could be the person who's sharing the property with them. That could be their area, I guess. There's some fruit up there and there's another microwave. Oh, dear me, the yawn finally caught me. This bathroom looks pretty empty, to be honest. Looks quite clean. They've pulled the shower across. Can't be Jen using that bathroom. There's the FBI person or the forensics person. You can see there's some bathroom things there. It looks a lot more organised and neat. So whoever that is can't be Jen. Pictures on the wall. I'm imagining probably toilet roll would go in there and they probably ran out. They've obviously got the shower curtain across. They probably just leave it like that. I wonder if they'll pull that back. I can't remember. A little bath rug thing. Multiples of the same. Now, I understand that this is the bedroom that Sternsey would be sent up to so that little Jennifer Soto, could get her beauty sleep. Yeah, the floor looks filthy, doesn't it? But the thing is, again, why are you sending your teenage daughter who's just turned 13, who's just had their birthday? Why are you still sending them to go and sleep with Sternsey? It doesn't make sense to me. It just would never happen in my house. I'll just go and sleep with them while I get my beauty sleep because my beauty sleep is more important than my daughter's safety. No. And this is where I have questions about Jennifer and what she's up to. So you get a little angle in there. Nothing under the bed. It's just kind of like a spare empty room, really. Used for when, Jen wants to send them up there. Now, there is a lock on that door. Now, you come in and what have we got in here? So we've got a shirt, a rucksack, some sweets, maybe? Not sure what that is. It's a bit blurry. Whoever took that photo did a shit job. Sorry, but that's a shit photo. Still not clear what this is. This bed looks very mangled to me. Makes me wonder, did anything happen in this room? Did any struggle happen in this room? That's just another angle. Again, other than the bed looking chaos, the curtains are shut, the TV's on there. And, Jen was obviously in the home at some point. And at some point, this must have happened. And it would have happened on her watch. Now, she might have been having her beauty sleep, but I can't believe for a minute that you wouldn't have heard something. And then obviously you've got this empty cupboard. That's just the angle looking at the bin and the TV. That's either, is that a remote? That could be a remote. It could be a vape. And then that's just a different angle. So you've got those bits down there. And they've got numbers on the doors, which is weird because we don't do that here unless you're renting. There's another room number 3. Can you imagine being a tenant and because of your dickhead boyfriend? There's, we're just kind of like looking at the crime scene, really, and the home of Madeline. So this is the room. This is likely to be the house share room. So again, I say this. Madeline had a bed downstairs. Why? There was a bedroom that she could have used. you imagine, oh, like, oh, yeah, you douchey about your bag boyfriend is like unalived your daughter, and now I've got to have all my belongings bloody gone through. So this belongs to the other person. There's some green slippers. Bit chaotic on the old side there. Perfumes, bit of beverage there, some glasses. Just weird. And then there's a small TV, some books. None of the Disney bollocks in here. Then a wardrobe, shoes, stuff, but nothing untoward. Just a close up of the pillars. Whoever's in that room is keeping their Cheerios to themselves and their food. But nothing untoward. But then if this is someone else that lives in the house and it's not them, there's not likely to be anything untowards. It's just another angle, another shot. There's some sort of letter on there, baseball, a doovie. Just another angle. Nothing screams out here. It's just a bit untidy. But nothing loud and screamy. Spider-Man blanket down there. Some bits and bobs in a bag, some stuff hanging up, and then whatever's in these boxes. But again, nothing that is screaming out that looks odd in this situation, given what may or may not have occurred in the home. I wonder if they've all moved back in there or not. I just don't know. No, it's Madeline Soto. I have covered her before on TikTok. And the trial is coming up. She's the young girl that was murdered by her stepfather, Stefan Stearns. She went missing. There is actually videos on this previous. We have covered this before. It's just that there has been a bit of a gap between this and the last one and the one before. But essentially, she goes missing and she doesn't turn up to school. Ring any bells yet? And they call the police and they are looking for her, and then it turns out that the police have seen a school bag and laptop thrown in the apartment complex bin. They then see Madeline in the car, already allegedly dead. And so they assume she is deceased. They arrest him. They go looking for her. Eventually, they find her because someone saw him changing a tyre on Old Hickory Road. They go. Maddie's body is found. She just had her 13th birthday. Her mum's a dickhead who's like, oh, well, I don't know. We took her to school. No, I mean, my partner took to school. The interviews are there to be seen when she does these on the news. We've already done them. But she can't get a story straight. And no, the school didn't notify them till sort of 4 o'clock, which was apparently normal back then. I don't know if they're still not notifying till tea time, but it gives these assholes time to dispose of their bodies. And then it turns out when they start investigating that Stefan Stearns seriously essayed this girl from a very young age. He had hundreds of videos doing so. Um, it's quite disturbing the things that he did. It's on the court documentation, but I haven't read it. I've never read it out. Um, and I don't intend to read that element out because I didn't really feel it was necessary. There was probably some more pertinent things like cause of death rather than the essay that she went through with him and what he put her through. Um, but that was put out there on documents. So I've never read that out and I never will, just for dignity for poor Maddie. Now, so he is now facing trial either February or March. I think it's March time, well, this month. That might get moved. It might have already been moved to possibly May. These things change all the time. So anyway, he's due for trial at any point. Now that could change. That could get moved further and further down the line. Now, currently, he's fighting the court and saying he don't want public in there and he don't want the cameras in there. Well, Stephen Stearns doesn't have rights in that way. He shouldn't have rights in that way. Florida is an open book. Now, just because you're embarrassed because of what you've done, he's pled not guilty. He's arguing the toss. He faces the death penalty. And actually, he could have faced the death penalty for the SA of Madeline by being the age that she was when she did it, because that's a new law, but they're not applying that, I don't think, in this case, but they are looking at the death penalty in this. But of course, he didn't even attend any of the first hearings, pre-trial hearings. Um, and now he doesn't want it to be in an open court. Well, sod you. You don't deserve that privacy, but it will not be a nice trial. Yeah, see, I still haven't had a chart, and I'm gonna be honest, I am probably not gonna get to look at it because I've just got so much with moving and everything. Like today, I was humming and hawing about whether or not to come on and do this, but I need to keep kind of coming on and getting this out before this trial starts. It's an old case that I have followed, so that I'm with it. I can talk about it. There's some things that need to refresh my memory, of course, because it's been going on for quite some time. But um, I'm probably not going to get to that. And to be honest, at this point, with it being so far in, I would have to be really gripped by that case to be able to catch up very, very quickly, because we've now just had the trial happen for Kyle Clifford. Now, I followed that case, I reported on that case, so that's a case that I'm going to be talking about this evening on TikTok. But I was around when it happened. So for me, this is just going through the court and what's gone on, and I understand what's gone on, and um, we covered it, so it's easier. And then obviously trying to do all things, downsizing, getting rid of shit, clearing out, it's going to take time. So I'm having to kind of like, and today I woke up again feeling like a bag of dust. Well, I felt like I should have been dust. I couldn't, honestly, I was in so much pain. Um, and yeah, yeah. So many things. Um, I've had people, and some things will end up in a podcast. So even though I don't necessarily cover it there live and as it's unfolding, it could end up in a podcast further down the line. I've been asked to cover the Mr. Beast one for the essay and all that's gone on up in Scotland, but I'm a little bit reluctant on that one. Um, just because it is really probably very triggering, and if I do it, I think it would have to be on a podcast. I don't think I could do it on TikTok. TikTok probably have me guts for garters, because you've got to be really sensitive with that kind of thing. Um, and it wasn't a case that I was following at the time. That kind of case is quite triggering for a lot of people. This case is going to be that for a lot of people, just because of it went from a murder case to a case that involved SA of a young girl as well. Tell Donna I send my love. Not feeling the love though. She was just abandoned us, eh? She's abandoned us. I spoke to her earlier. She's all good. Spoke to her earlier. So yeah, I'm just doing what I can do, doing my best, and it's really difficult to take requests as well. Like it's one of my subscriber features. Um, it's quite good to keep it to subscribers, but when they all come to you and they've got some suggestions, you're like, it's not a good time because I'm moving. Sorry, I'm a really shit. I haven't even posted you a sub only video for a little bit, neither. So again, we're in this room. This one's got their own personal little ensuite, and they've got their own little fridge. They've got their own little goodies. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. She's all right. She's all right, mate. She's all right. I've been, like I say, I've been chatting with her today. Back and forth a little bit. She messaged me, and then I replied, and then she messaged me back, and I was live, and I then replied at like 4 in the morning or something because I woke up, and then she replied back this morning at some point, going, "Bloody hell, you're up early." And I was like, "No, I just woke up and I had a snack, and then I went back to sleep again." And I've got a call tomorrow, an important one in the morning, and then the vet's with Ebby for a 6-monthy check. So it's a busy day. It's like bloody hell, and then the grandbaby. So it's all go 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 in the AD property here. Literally all go go go. So you've got a bag of rubbish, got some baseballs in there. No, there's a pen. TV looks all right. Again, I had those for a Christmas battle. I'd done that time. I've thrown them out now, though. I got rid of everything. Do you know? Oh, I'll tell you later, Nick. So here we've got just what looks like to be rice, cooking pans. They probably thought, I'm going to keep all my own shit in here because Jen keeps stealing my food. And then that's just a different angle. Again, they've got their own lock on, I guess, for nighttime. Especially as they're hoarding their own food in that room, like. And then I'm not sure what they are. Literally not sure what they are. And then obviously some DIY crap in there. I don't know. Handy paint cup. So yeah, it's probably some like tools and that in there, just shoved in there. But again, there's nothing screaming out here, and I would think if anything happened in this property, it wouldn't have happened in the lodger's room. That's like a beach mat. Back to room number 4. Now, are these clinical gloves or are they tissues? Don't enlighten me then. So we're back into Stearnsy's spare bedroom. He's got another little bloody computer game thing there. Not sure what half of this stuff is in here. And then, what is that? I can't even click on it to zoom in. Is it gloves? Is it tissues? And then in here, I couldn't show this on old TikTok because here is a pew pew. Not sure what that is. So, I mean, if she was in that room and things were going on and she didn't feel she had a choice because he had that in the drawer, what the hell? Like, yeah. Do you know what? Email is probably quicker or on TikTok because I'm rarely in Instagram. I'm so bad. I'm so bad on there and I need to do better. I'm not going to lie. I rarely click on my Instagram. Rarely. And I rarely post because I forget. And I should just post and share the posts, but I don't. I literally forget. Email, I'm quite responsive. Like today, I've been in there. I had an email requesting a call, so I was quite responsive. And then they replied, and I was responsive back. Email is your best. I don't know why. It should do. I only had it off for a short while Mama Free was being a dick, being a bit of a stalker. So yeah, she might have had that put to her head, mightn't she? She might have been frightened of him in that way because he had a pew pew. And again, let's just say in for shits and giggles, say Madeline had mental health issues and she was so inclined that she wanted to take her revenge out. That is just there. That's just there for her to get and take to school. Why is that not locked up? Infuriates me. Absolutely infuriates me just to leave that in there when you've got a 13-year-old girl in the house. To just leave it like that. And I don't care whose room that would be in. That should not be left like that. That's not safe. Come on now. Do better. If you're going to protest that you need to have pew pews in your property, lock them up. Don't complain when you're next at an event and someone takes a pop at you with a pew pew because their kid picked it up out of the drawer because they couldn't be asked to lock it away either. And then they've had access. That really infuriates me. I'm sorry, but that is just not okay. Yeah, I think so. I think so. But that does infuriate me massively. Oh, look, there it is in its glory. What the hell? It's a Sigsa P365. Means absolutely nothing to me because I'm not a pew pewer. I don't know guns, don't care to know them. But what I do know is when you pull that little thing there, that little clicky thing, that is what causes the problem. This thing comes out of it called a bullet, and then that bullet then does harm to someone else. And that was just sat in the drawer. I mean, to be honest, if I'd have had any sense that he was doing to my daughter what he was doing, I'd have used it on him. Simple as that. I'd have said, "Oh, I thought he was an intruder." Wait, so we've just got we're gonna have loads of angles of this gun. Now it's obviously very dusty in this little bit here, but they clearly felt the need to photograph it. And then they've done something there. Couldn't tell you what. They've took something off, took something out. Should have took Sternsy out with it. Obviously, that's his registration. And then we've got envelopes, a vault, something. Player's handbook. Don't know what these little boxes are. Maybe casing, bullets, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. There's that little pocket there in the front of that bag for a pew pew. Oh, yes. Whoa. The fuck? And then we just move on from that and we're in a different room. Back to room number 4. Yeah, it's just there's nothing untoward. They've moved the bin there to wedge that door. It must be a not clothing, clothing. Clothes that are thrown in. No, it is not a vape. It is the remote control. From a distance, it looked like it had a bit that could be a mouthpiece. And then we are back to the couple's room, the couple of the year. Now, this pillow is here. Where is its pillowcase? Why is there no pillowcase? Have they took the pillow? In the bathroom on the window. Sorry, it was in my back pocket, and then when I took my trousers off, I fell out in it. Sorry. Getting the looks now from Mrs. AD. Coca-Cola can. Yeah, so why is that there with no pillowcase on? Did he happen to put the actual pillowcase on her head? Tate's Bake Shop. Again, very messy, not very clean. Toilet roll. Ugh. Ugh. Well, that's a good question, Michelle. That is a good question. We know what the tissue is for, right? Blech. Blech. Sorry, Michelle, I know you're pregnant and very prone to vomiting. I don't know what these are, but they've redacted them. That's interesting. What could be here that they've redacted? Looks like some sort of pen. I hate it when they do that and make them tall. They've redacted something here as well. Wonder what they are. Probably is erectile dysfunction pills. They're obviously taking photos of medicine bottles. I can see that that's redacted because obviously that would have personal medical details on. And then we're back to here. So still can't, this is redacted. It must be the medicine. Can't see what else it could be. All this crap down here. More tissue. Fucking hell. Blech. He was being a banker. Yeah, he bloody was being a banker. Blech. Again, dirty, filthy animal living there. It doesn't take 2 minutes to get a wet wipe and clean it a little bit, especially when you're, putting your food on there and that, just a bit of hygiene. Show your kid how to do things the right way. Obviously, that's medicine. It's a refillable. Oh, look, there's the cat. You can see the cat's got some water bowl there and a food bowl. Now there is a sock on the floor. I can't understand why the Christmas tree, it must be up all bloody year round. Like, come on now. Now, again, this is what I don't understand. I need some help. You're going to see why in a minute. So I can see a shoe. Okay, now the other shoe was not in the same location. She would have been wearing one of those shoes when she was disposed of or dead or died or murdered. So how did Jennifer Soto, who was having a good night's sleep in her room and slept in for a little bit longer, not realise what the fuck? Why is there one shoe in here and why has she got one shoe on? What the fuck? Because surely you're thinking, right, hang on a minute. I think this woman knows way more than we know that she knows. Because we believe, a lot of us believe, many of us believe she's been given some kind of plea deal so that she is given immunity because she knows. because she's just disappeared off the face of the earth. Now, apparently, she went to a mental health place, um, but she's just disappeared. She's done all the interviews and that, but like, there's no answers, and I just can't see how, if she had two shoes on, why one is there and why one is in another location. Obviously, when he was disposing of stuff, and yet this girl seemed to have one shoe on. How did he get her out with one shoe on? How did she leave the house with one shoe on? Did the mother not see that she left for school that morning because she was getting ready? Because one minute she says she saw her getting ready, and then the next minute, bollocks. That doesn't make sense to me that she was in that bed and she didn't know anything. Come on, Jennifer, speak up. Pay the price for what you've done. I mean, I know you've paid the price because your daughter's gone, but you served your daughter up on a plate to that monster. Again, different angle. They must collect the Disney pin things up here, look. Another angle. Little list there. Some phone numbers on there. I want to give Michael Adel a ring and ask him what he knows. Friday 5:57. Looked like a 1990 Chevy Transit conversion van, white van with faded red strips, beige curtains. Michael Adel. Give that number a ring. Bonnie Mitchell. And yet they've redacted that. Like, what the fuck? You've just left this other guy's name on there in his phone number. You've redacted that bit. They like looking at that number 4 door. Now that they've moved the bin again there, look, guys. These aren't in the best order. I think they've just been uploaded this way. Again, nothing to see here. That looks like some sort of nightlight now, looking at it from this angle. There's a loft hatch there. Again, the door lock. So I suppose as well, if he was doing things to her, he could lock the door from the inside so that he'd have a minute to get his shit together if someone disturbed him. Which would be weird, wouldn't? Why have you got your door knocked, Sternsey? Well, I was just sleeping with your daughter. She was asleep and that, and I just didn't want anyone to disturb us. Again, that angle. What team is Brianna Stewart on? Popular question. So that's like some sort of device that gives him some information, and then he's got some bits and pieces here. Here is your balance. We can take payment now or leave CC on file, and that balance will be something, whatever. Very unorganized. That's just the whatever that is device. Back in Maddie's bedroom. Makes me sad when I see her little bits and pieces. Back in the mother's bedroom. Nothing really untoward. Because there's chaos there, so it's hard to know, like, you know, was this taken off the bed and shoved in the cupboard? It's hard to know, isn't it? Because then, see, that's the pillow And that must be the pillowcase for that pillow. It's like, "Oh, well, I was having a lay-in and then I, took my pillowcase off and then left my pillow on the floor. Didn't put a clean one on and put it on the bed. No, I just kinda left it there." That's a bit of an odd move. So many photos. Just a jumbled up mess in there, more rucksacks. They had a lot of rucksacks, didn't they? The cat getting in the frame, more shelving, jumbled mess. There's that tie thing. Now that looks a bit like a scarf, doesn't it? Because 'Cause it's got fluffy, not fluffy, but, like the ends of a scarf would have. But it's still in a weird place. Back in Maddie's bedroom, of course. Oh, and look here. In Madeline's bedroom, Sternsy's boxes. Why is Stefan Stern's boxes in that wash bin in her bedroom? We know why. There's some sort of thing there. Device, PlayStation-y thing. Another little bag there. Just a little kid at heart. You can see all her little plushies. But a grown-ass man's boxer shorts in her bedroom. They've moved the blanket. Now, look at the bedding on here. Now, did that pillow come from this bed? Look at the sheet. Remember the pillowcase back in what's her face's room? Matching pillowcase. So why was Maddie's pillow? Why was Madeline's pillow and case in that room and separate? Bearing in mind there's cat vomit on the floor or human vomit in this bedroom. Absolutely no, it's not right, Michelle. Well, we know why, don't we? Because we know what he did. The stupid thing is he filmed himself doing it all, so it's all in evidence. And then obviously something's not quite right with that TV, scratch or something's happened to it up there. We saw these earlier. They've turned the computer screen on. It's got kind of similar screen to me. And then just some close-ups of these little things here. A little Valentine's Day thing. Sad, innit? And then there's all these little bits, little trinkets and stuff. Bless her. I wonder what she got for her birthday. Wonder if any of these. They've stripped the bed, obviously, because they're taking the contents of the sheets and everything. Stains. Know what stains they are, don't we? A little book. That's where she wrote about her fluctuating moods and her trauma affecting her memory, her concentration and her focus and her energy levels. So it says, my fluctuating moods, anxiety and trauma and related symptoms affect my memory, concentration, focus, and energy levels. I also have severe trauma responses when I encounter all males. So she's telling a story there. And you can understand why that she has severe trauma now. And that's just again a reminder she didn't have her own room. Obviously, police have lifted everything up there, and you can see they've moved her chair. They've moved some things there. They've put stuff on the bed. And then there's just like all the books and that. Just piled on her bed. It's weird that whatever that is down there. Dread to think. I actually dread to think. They've took the mailboxes by the looks of it. Back to the kitchen. They've put the warrant on the table. Redacted. Stupid because you just go onto the court website and it's all there. Back upstairs. So it looks like they've took things off the bed. They've lifted that pillow up this time off the floor, which you'd think they would take, so I think that's off Maddie's bed. Now, there's that white shoe here. The other one she would have been wearing. How's that happened? One shoe over here and one that would have been with her that was discarded. How's that happened? So it's just right there in that corner where I was waving my little mouse there. So chaotic, isn't it? There's a sports ball thing there. Things just shoved here and shoved there. There's that pillowcase that matches that sheet. Why is that hidden? That to me looks hidden. We've been through in here. They obviously double up a lot. Here's the kitchen. Different view of the sinky area. Again, nothing untoward. Cooker again. Double shot of the stairs. We did that. Are we going round again? No. Oh, they pulled the shower curtain back at least. Bit mouldy. One shoe. No wonder they pulled that shower curtain across. Not judging at all. Pictures are off the wall. Bin contents. So that's another angle of the hallway in it. That must be the Alecki meter. Again, another picture of that room there. That's one of them like comfy pillows, isn't it? Looks like they've stripped that bed as well. Potato chips, where did they find them? They've pulled everything in and around and out. I didn't notice those before. Voodoo potato chips at that. Again, just another angle of the rooms. Saw that one. Messy people. Disinfectant wipes, interesting. And these are just photos we've already seen. The closet. All the dudes, rice and that. Different angle. Stuff thrown all over the show. Everything on the bed while they're looking around. The drawers are disturbing me, like they're really irritating me because they should be closed. They should be closed. They're not sitting. This is the type of thing when we yin yang, you know. Again, they've put everything on the bed while they're looking around, taking pictures. Nothing under there. Just a picture of the floor. Ziploc sandwich bag. Not too much disturbed, but obviously they're moving stuff so they can look at and go behind things. Person went to great lengths to make that bed. Saw that one already. And that one. In the bathroom, some hair dye. Looks like a tiny bath shower. Again, nothing untoward, but we're back in this room. I can see that crock again. Getting closer as a zoom in of the crock. There's that crock, and that makes me sad. Because the other one is in another picture, which means she was with the crock. And if she was with both of the crocks, how has the mother not said, why have I got one crock and she's got the other? They put a pair there. There's a pair there. I think Jen had crocs as well. Size 8. That's big for a woman. And Jen weren't that tall. Why did I pause that? So that's a pair. And this one is a different one. It's more scuffed around here. So the other one is with Maddie. And then there's that bit of dirt there that's not in those other pictures. Hence why I kept going backwards and forwards. They're not scuffed in the same way. And there's no thingy in there. And that's got that on there. And the other one hasn't. So they had the same crocs. Hers is a 5. I'm very well worn. Come back to the beginning. Yes. So that is back to the beginning. So as you can see, there's a lot of things going on in these crime scene photos, and there's a couple of questionable things in them. I certainly have some questions, and I still don't understand how that croc situation's gone on. But Jen didn't look that big, and she's got a size 8 feet. Like, Jen looks really short. But She might not be as short as she looks, I guess. And obviously Maddie must be the 5. Um, but yeah, there was another croc disposed of, I think. Let me just let me just so that's all Sternsey. That's the location that she was found. We've done all them. Um, do we see the bin? Nope. Where is it? Oh, maybe there's more. Hang on. Okay. Okay. So this was the bag that was disposed of. While we're here, we might as well go through them. That's inside the bag. So this is what he dumped. Obviously, she had cold hands. Redacted. This was all in her school bag. It's very sad. Very sad. Not sure what that is. Looks like it opens up mind. Is that her laptop? That must be the little laptop she had because it's got Orange County Public Schools. And that's what went in bin. Yeah, that's the laptop. Couldn't see what that was then. It wasn't clear in the first one. Hoodie. That's them just showing that ticket. More images of the bag. Obviously where it was in the trash and stuff, that's what the bag looked like, where some of her stuff had leaked. Bastard. Sad, isn't it, when you see it? Her inhaler. Fidget toy. It must have got crushed a bit in there. And this is some of the rubbish that they had to go through. So they just took photos of the hair. They did all this with Anna Walsh. Very sad. There's a lot of bits that they've got to filter through, isn't it? And they're going through all the rubbish, seeing if they can match anything up to the home. All people's rubbish that they've had to Blech. So much trash. I haven't pulled anything outside at this point. Oh, can you imagine the smell? That's what the trash compactor thing looks like. So much rubbish. And they had to go through all of that because of that wanker. Tyre. And there's a baglet. And this was from the apartment. And her shoe. So how is that shoe there? And the other shoe in their bedroom, and the mum didn't notice. I'm still asking questions to Jennifer about the bloody shoe. It's terrible. I think we are back at the beginning. Like literally. Yeah. And this was his vehicle. So they've marked areas. Was that blood? What is that? You can see why she'd be embarrassed to be in that car. You might not have nothing, but you could clean it. Cleaning it would be free. Dusty as hell. Cat collar, torch. Why has he got all these in there? What the hell? That's from the front passenger door. Passenger seat. Empty box. Umbrella, lead, harness, stuff, tissues, marked tissues, cloth. Is that blood? Potentially. Stuff out of the car from McDonald's trips and that. Poor kid. Muck on the floor. What is that? Is that blood? What else did he do? Whatever that is. Bastard. Whatever's going on in there. Why have you got all these harnesses? They had a cat. I feel there was probably more to her murder, but the main thing we learnt was that she was strangled. Blood? Is it blood? Could it be? And then whatever they are, should have hit him with it. Not sure what that is. From the boot, probably, maybe. Disgusting. And then back to that. And whatever that is. Some sort of big blanket cloth thing. Bit of wear in his hair. Some stains. I think we'll all be traumatised when we hear all the stuff. Oh, look, there's his wheel. I can't believe it's 20 to 8. So many bits of crap in his vehicle. It's from his boot of his car, also known as the trunk. Bullet casing. Lincoln. Redacted. Whatever. It's disgusting. I just couldn't have. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Suspicious. The engine. Surprised that thing's still going. Gloves. Why have you got gloves in the car? You want me to be? I'm too messy. Now it looks tidy. I didn't see any dogs. I must have had them or have them. That was the front seat where she was allegedly sleeping. That's weird. What's with the collection of the walking sticks? Why has he got all that? Jeez. Concerning. And then there's obviously the warrant and the search property form and all that business, just so that they have the warrant to search the vehicle. That's his number plate. That's what got him in trouble. Surprised they didn't redact that, to be honest. And obviously the car is going nowhere. It is in the room of stuff, cars, evidence, but he's never getting that back. Never. So that's the thing. Oh yeah, that's all the stuff. Evidence, the chassis number, his plates again. There's a whole load of them. Top compartment. Why has he got a knife, sir? Belongings. That's like a maggot. Don't know what that is. Could be blood. And again, that thing. And that's just what his the car. That must be Jen's. Bit tidier than his, isn't it? Dosset box. Fuck. No, that's damage to the car, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's Jen's. And that's the timeline, guys. February 26, 7:35 a.m. The surveillance cameras capture Sternsey discarding items in the trash. 7:50 to 8:31, Stearns' car leaves and returns to the apartment complex multiple times, with Maddie's body visible in the car. Jen Soto goes to Hunters Creek Middle School to pick up Maddie, but learns she never arrived. And at 8 p.m., she's reported missing. Sternsey claiming he drops her off near the school and her phone was left at home. On February the 27th, 24, Orange County Sheriff's Office issue a public release about Maddie's disappearance. On February the 28th, a massive search is conducted, but no trace of Maddie is found. Stearns is arrested as prime suspect and then charges of sexual battery and possession of child essay materials after disturbing images are found on his phone. The arrest affidavit for Sternsey is released, revealing inconsistencies in his story and the evidence of a factory reset on his phone. Sheriff John Mina announces investigators are confident Madeline is dead and is likely killed at her home before Stearns moves her body. Video evidence shows Sternsey disposing of items in the dumpster, and Maddie's backpack and laptop are found, and Maddie's body is recovered from a wooded area, and a vigil is held in her memory. March 2nd, Stearns waives his right to appear in court and the judge grants no bond, and a confidential crime scene photo is accidentally posted on social media by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. March 5th, the state's attorney office requests an investigation into the released crime scene photo. March 6th, Kisme police continue their investigation, revealing Stearnsy's history of SA towards Maddie. March 12th, the state's attorney files 60 counts against Stearnsy, including multiple counts of sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse materials. And a pre-trial hearing is set for April the 24th and trial on May the 13th. Again, that could change. It has been changing. March 21st, 2024, Kissimmee Police Chief Betty Holland provides an update emphasising the thoroughness of the investigation. 4th of April 2024, the ME office withholds the autopsy report due to a confidentiality status, and the 911 call is released, and we've heard that. The medical examiner's office withholds the autopsy report due to the confidentiality. I've just read that, sorry guys. April the 24th, 2024, Stefan is indicted by the grand jury for her murder, and authorities discuss the calculated nature of his actions and have not decided on seeking the DP. June the 11th, 24, state's attorney announces it's seeking the DP against Stearnsy if he is convicted. Factors include aggravated child abuse, familial authority, heinous nature of the crime, and his prior charges. June 2024, on the 12th, hundreds of pages of documents are released, revealing a rough timeline of Stearnsy's movements on the day of Maddie's disappearance, witness interviews, cell phone, mapping images, and surveillance videos. Stearnsy's car is tracked from Kissimmee, the apartment, to St. Cloud, where Maddie's body is later found. And Jennifer is initially stating she saw her daughter on the morning of February 26th, but then retracts that and says she assumed Maddie was in the kitchen. I mean, there's a difference between seeing her getting changed and that, and then him taking her, and then we taking her. So it's going to be an interesting one, guys. So that is it on this case for today. That took longer than I anticipated. We will go through Jennifer Soto's interview and Stearnsy's, and then we'll be kind of caught up, guys. So yeah, we'll do all that, and we'll do that on a different day. Can't say which day as of yet, but we will do it. So keep your eye out for the notification. So make sure you've hit the notification bell so you get the notification when it is set to go live. And do make sure you are subscribed to the page so that you don't miss the things that we are doing there. And for everyone else, I will see you on the TikTok streets later on, where we are going to be discussing the case of Kyle Clifford and his trial. There's been some interesting information dropped today. So guys, stay safe, have a good rest of your day wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will see you very, very soon. Night, guys. Bye.